Hello everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another Division 2 video. So in today's video, I'm excited to share with you guys a super strong, hard-hitting bleed AR build that's extremely fun to play with in Dark Zone PvP. So some of you may enjoy using this build, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, I've been getting a bit burnt out from the Striker gear set. I don't know, it's just getting a bit boring for me. But yeah, this is actually a build that I put together before in the past, and it's a good break from meta. I haven't got to try this out in conflict yet, but the burst damage on this build is insane, to say the least. This build hits like a bad car accident, and you can see crits of up to 200,000 on players, which is ridiculous. Anyway, let's dive right in and get into the breakdown of this build. And I'll show some more gameplay footage towards the end, okay? So yeah, this is a Ridgeway's Pride build setup, and for the primary weapon, I'm using the Black Market AKM with the talent Sadist. And check this out. Take a look at the base damage. This gun hits hard. 65,000 base damage is pretty high compared to the other guns in the assault rifle category, so I'd say this gun is pretty underrated in my opinion. You just don't see very many players running around with an AKM. This gun is like that one backup singer that blew everyone's mind at the end. And with all the bonus attributes from the gear pieces, the weapon damage totals out to 123,000. That's pretty good for a build with 1.7 million armor. Wouldn't you agree? But one of the major downsides of the AKM, however, is its low RPM, but the damage truly makes up for it. And having the talent Sadist will add 20% amplified weapon damage to bleeding enemies. But if you would rather use another assault rifle, that will work fine too. Just make sure you have the Sadist talent rolled on it. But I would rather use the AKM because it hits hard. For the secondary weapon, I'm using the Eagle Bearer, but you can use whatever you'd like. A good secondary weapon would be any of the vectors. Just roll Sadist on it and you'll be good to go. As a matter of fact, the best vector to use with this build is the Tactical Vector SBR, in my opinion. This is the vector with no stock, and it absolutely shreds in PvP, especially with a bleed build, so again, just roll Sadist on it if you decide to use this. Also, for those who may not know, the Ridgeway's Pride Exotic Vest comes with the Talent Bleeding Edge, so shooting enemies within 15 meters will apply a bleed to the target. So this is why having the Sadist talent on your weapon works well with this vest, because once you apply bleed to a target, you will be getting that 20% amplified weapon damage from the Sadist talent. And 15 meters is about mid-range, right? So that's a pretty good distance, and even if your playstyle is a lot further than that, since this gun hits so hard, you will still see good damage even without the bleed and Sadist active. Just wanted to address that in case it may be a possible concern. Also, another cool benefit of this vest is that you will also repair 3 to 48% of your armor per second for each enemy that is bleeding within 15 meters. So you can see here that for one target, it'll be a 3% repair, and for 5 targets, it'll be 48%. So the best way to reap the benefits of this repair bonus is by deploying a Bleed Stinger Hive. Having a Bleed Stinger Hive will only make it easier to spread the bleed status effect and heal yourself according to the repair percentages. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're outnumbered by multiple players, having that Bleed Hive down will help a bit with survivability. For the mask, I have the Walker Harris brand set equipped, and since I have 2 pieces, I get a nice 5% weapon damage and damage to armor. This further increases the overall damage output. Rolled with max armor, critical hit damage and chance, and a maxed critical hit chance mod. For the knee pads and the second Walker Harris piece, maxed rolled armor and critical hit chance and damage. For the gloves, I'm using the named contractor's gloves for the additional 8% damage to armor, which stacks nicely with the 5% damage to armor that you get from Walker Harris. With maxed rolled armor and critical hit damage, this name gloves is truly a great piece to have for DPS builds, especially in PvP. For the holster, the Picaro's holster gives a nice 15% weapon damage, with maxed armor and critical hit damage. And for those of you who are new and may not have this holster, it's very easy to get. I recommend running Countdown or the Summit. These 2 modes allow you to select your targeted loot. And since the Picaro's holster is basically a Brazos brand set piece, you may want to change the targeted loot to Brazos. This will be a lot better as opposed to changing it to holsters. And the Summit is actually where I got my first Ridgeway's Pride vest. But anyway, for the backpack, 1-piece Cheska that comes with 10% critical hit chance. Rolled with max armor, critical hit damage, weapon handling, and a maxed out critical hit damage mod. Ideally, you'd want to have critical hit chance rolled here instead of weapon handling, because that would be more beneficial. For the backpack talent, Wicked will work great. because you will be getting an increased 18% weapon damage for applying a status effect to a target. So when you apply bleed to a target, you will be getting not only an 18% increased weapon damage from Wicked, but 20% amplified weapon damage from Sadist as well. And although this is a PvP build, it works great in PvE as well. And feel free to go all red with this if you choose to do so. But I would rather go all blue for the survivability since this build deals out great damage anyway. Also, I recommend going with the Firewall Specialization since this will further increase your survivability, and that is because you will be getting 200% armor and health back over time from using an armor kit. This helps you stay alive a lot longer when fighting multiple players in the dark zone. And for the stats on the AKM, 54% critical hit chance and about 137% critical hit damage. And for the Eagle Bearer, 54% crit hit chance and 151% crit hit damage. For the skills, I'm running the Defender Drone and Decoy. The Decoy fits my playstyle and gives me the element of surprise. But you can replace this with a Stinger Hive, if you'd like, for additional damage and to apply bleed for the Sadist and Wicked talent buffs. Or even to get some armor back from the repair bonus on the Ridgeway vest. So the choice is yours. This is Prajna. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Also, don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Anyway, enjoy the gameplay footage, keep it cool, keep it classy, and see you in the next video. Peace out.